Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The decks and dice I'm using are going to be listed below. And of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your choice. Thank you. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? Capricorn. You got two cards, I think it's two, that flipped out of the deck. They're face down. Typically are. They typically are anyway. There's two cards there. I don't know if I can see the second one, but that's okay. Okay. You've made choices before to do things on your own. You have. I don't really see that being like a good or bad thing. It's neither good nor bad. It's simple in the sense of like you've chosen to do it on your own, therefore you've done it on your own, which is okay. Going forward, there's a lot of good cards, but I feel like there's a question that they're saying as long as you're on point and you're connecting with the question, you'll get the proper answer for you, and you decide what's right, obviously. Which is like, do you want to continue or go into this next phase also doing it alone? Or has that proven to not be as beneficial as maybe you once thought it would be? Or was it more beneficial in the past and maybe it's like, yeah, I've done that. That was fine for when it was. It worked for when it was, but maybe I don't want to do it that way again. Okay, because that's the question. That's a big question on this whole thing. I keep looking at this like I'm used to doing it that way, but do I want to keep doing it that way? There's a difference. Being comfortable and used to it versus like, do I really want to keep doing that? I've seen this with people when it comes to dating, where they get very comfortable doing things on their own and being by themselves, but then they also do want somebody there and they do want that relationship. So it becomes like a catch-22. It's like, I really like my solitude, I really like my alone time, but at the same time, I really want to have a relationship that's really close and I can build from. So it's like, I want kind of both, and it's kind of hard to kind of balance it sometimes. In which I've usually found in those situations, it's like, they want somebody that they can be at peace with around them, and maybe that becomes more of a challenge. It's kind of like, I want somebody who I enjoy, but also I can be at peace with. So it's kind of like, is that too tall of an order to fill? That's a question mark. Possibilities are coming in, as they do every now and then. I see it all coming at the two cards face down. Okay, this is what you really want. 8 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. So if it's work, could be romance, could be a social connection, whatever it is for you, I want to be at peace with it. I want it to be productive. I want to actively do things with it, but I don't want to do it by myself. I want people to like be at my level. So say if you were a really skilled craftsman at woodworking, years ago I knew a Capricorn who was very skilled at it. You might be looking for somebody who could add into that aspect. Like the person I remember, they were very skilled at woodworking, and they weren't looking for somebody to tell them to do how to do woodworking. But I remember their partner was very helpful in like the business aspect of it, and taking care of that stuff and getting things lined up and making sure orders came in, making sure the supplies came in, making sure things stayed neat, and like they did it together. But like the person that was a Capricorn was very talented at the woodworking stuff, and they did mostly that. And then they worked in tandem with the other stuff, but the other person was more in control of that stuff, and there was a very good bond with that. So it doesn't have to mean that the people you want coming in have to be the same level in the sense of like they have the same skills, the same level of responsibility, the same level of commitment, the same level of drive. That's what I feel like is what we're looking for here. And I'm not willing to settle for less, nor should you, is what I'm getting. I feel like those things are very doable and very realistic, personally, the way this is coming in. And I do see, like, I can make judgment go for my favor. I'm not saying it right. I know I'm not. I'm in control of what approaches me, and I can find what I need. I'm not waiting for, like, hopefully the universe gives me what I want. I don't see that. I see, like, I want to see the possibilities, and I can choose from my possibilities. I just got to see what's out there, and I need to find a way to find what it is. It's not so much luck giving you what you want. I don't feel like I'm into that. It's about, first of all, putting in the effort to find it and making sure I've found the right one. The energy's coming forward where possibilities are becoming very strong. There may have been a long time where there wasn't really the right possibilities around you, but now for some reason there's an influx of possibilities coming your way. I feel like this is kind of like, the tides. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes they're really big, sometimes they're not. It's kind of like I'm coming into a season where I'm getting a lot of opportunities, and I know this won't last forever. I feel like I know that, I have a greater chance of finding what I want in this time, and it's a better time to choose now. And it's very much weighing on me. Do I want to do this by myself again with the Solitude and the Six of Pentacles? No, it's not Pentacles, that is Cups. Six of Cups, history card. And then, like, me knowing what I want. I know it says the King of Pentacles, don't get caught up in the gender. We also have the Queen of Swords. Whatever this is for you, but it's like, I know what I want. Am I going to step forward and do it? Will I make it happen? Now is the best time for this. And I feel like I'm on board with that. I feel like I know that that's correct. So when I say you're on board with it, like, that that's correct if this is hitting. Does that mean you're going to do it? I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see. Because I'm going forward slowly. And this next part is the question mark. I feel like I'm on board with the sense of, like, opportunities are there. They're more here than normal. A better chance of me finding what I actually want. I just got to do the research, and I'm going forward slowly at first. I don't think that's a bad thing. I feel like that actually makes sense for the situation. But it's this other added part. It's noticing all the things I don't like, and like I keep centering on, like, I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I don't like that. While I understand for the decision-making process, identifying what you don't like makes sense, but the thing is, you already know what you don't like. Highlighting it isn't really necessary. You already know what you don't like. It's kind of like, instead of going, oh, I don't like that, just kind of seeing it and going, and just moving on from it, just like not giving it any more attention than you need to. Once you see something that's not going to match, just moving on. Not giving it more attention than it really deserves. It's almost like, this may sound brutal, it's almost like when you're dating people, and you go on 2 to 3 dates, and then you're realizing this isn't for you. I don't feel like there needs to be a big conversation about it. I feel like we just kind of, like, let it be for a little while, and if they want an explanation, you can give it. If they don't want the explanation or they don't ask for it, maybe just leave it there. Sometimes giving the explanation is more damage than good. I don't know. It depends. If they want it, that's one thing. But if they don't want it, I feel like we don't have to spend a lot of time with it. This other one is kind of like, all right, looking at it, it's like, instead of looking at it like what's not right, going towards, like, okay, that I like. Okay, that I like. There's no perfect. Perfect isn't real. There's how much do I like from this situation and what doesn't fit. Is there anything here in the realm of doesn't fit that's a showstopper? It's kind of like going forward and going, you know what? Let me see what I like. I like this from this one. I like that from that one. I like that from that one. So it's like centering your attention on, like, finding, like, oh, I like that they do that. Oh, I seen that. I like that they do that. Oh, I seen this. I like that they do that. do that. I see 3 here that I like. Now, none of them are going to be perfect. It's just being realistic about that right off the bat. None of them are going to be perfect. So which one do I like the most of the 3? Stepping into that arena and finding out, like, how good does what match, and are any of the things that don't showstoppers. It's to solidify it in. It's more stressful to do it that way for some reason. I don't know why. It does feel more stressful, but that's where the success can come in. If you decide you want to do this, you don't do it. You don't want to do it any more by yourself, whatever that means. Why am I choking on that? 2 of Cups comes in. 2 of Cups, but I want a reliable connection, something I can believe in. I don't want to do it by myself anymore. I don't want to be by myself anymore, and this is what I keep getting. But if I keep highlighting what I don't like, it discourages me and I stop. If I go towards what I do like, and then I just look for, like, are there showstoppers here? Because if there's a showstopper, there's a showstopper. We're done. But if I keep going to, like, I like this, I like this, I like this, let me just see if there's showstoppers, you'll find what you need. It does seem like it's more stressful that way, because I feel like I'm putting myself out there a little bit more. I'm sharing a little bit more than maybe I normally would, but this is what it takes to find the truth. I need to see if there's a showstopper here. I'd rather find the showstopper now than find out 2 days down or 2 years down the line. You know what I mean? It's there. Possibility is definitely there. I hope it makes sense the way I'm saying it. Because the optimistic route can bring you what you want, but then again, it's like also being realistic. I like this. Are there showstoppers? One of the things that may be a point of contention is when you find one that's good, they're going to want to run and get going and let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Capricorn has their way of getting into things. You have your own way, your own timing, what will and what won't happen, and how fast that will go. That is, you've decided. You will decide what's right, and you will do as much as you want. They might want more, but you're like, well, there's only so much I'm going to do at this point. That may be a point of contention. That's also a question mark. Will it be so intense that it's a showstopper, or can that be managed? Probably will be a little bit of stress with that, but it's doable stress is what I'm getting. Because I get that the only thing, once I find what I want, I keep getting, that's the stress point. That's the biggest stress point when I find what I want. So certain things will be showstoppers, and if you find showstoppers, we're going to close the book and we're going to move on. We'll find the right book. When you find the right book, there may be a lot of pressure to keep moving and go faster and get deeper and get deeper. There's a negotiation with that. You'll let things speed up to a point, but not too far. I feel like there's a negotiation with that because the passion is there. There's a lot coming in with that, with the Queen of Wands. Is your heart in it? And then the wandering path is kind of like, it might be for a while I'm getting to know this person. Just kind of like feeling it out day by day. Kind of like there's only so far I'm going to go today, but maybe I'll negotiate. Maybe I'll allow this. It's kind of like they want to see me every day, and I'm like, well, I can't do every day, but maybe I can see you 3 times a week. You want to see me for dinner? Maybe I can't do dinner today, but possibly I can do breakfast or lunch. That type of thing. Or at least maybe I can talk with you on the phone during lunch. You know, that's a negotiation in my opinion. If there's somebody who really wants your attention, and you're like, well, I can't physically see you, but we have lunch at the same time. I can take my food into my car and I can talk to you on lunch. So we can at least be getting to know each other better that way. That's something. That's a negotiation. Maybe it's not what they actually want, but it's still something. It's something to build from. The Queen of Cups here, the way I keep seeing her, like she's holding the Ace of Cups really tightly, like this is something that can be of great value. In the beginning, it's going to take some work, but I do feel like this is one of those times where the more I understand somebody, the more they understand me. It does kind of like, it's not like it's, I don't know, I don't feel like it's aggressive, difficult. I feel like it's just kind of like difficult, like I need to understand how they work, and they need to understand how I work. And once we find the happy medium, then from that point on, we can set the stage and do what we want. But there's like a getting to know you phase here that's like, you know, trial and error. Once we get through that, I feel like it's really good. And neither you nor the other side, and this doesn't have to be a romance. It does seem like it's geared that way, but it doesn't have to be. it does seem like once we get past the getting to know you phase and we understand how each other works, neither of us want to give up, and we actually do find a way to balance it out in a very positive way. This seems to be, whatever this connection is, it doesn't have to be romance, that it's very important that there's give and take. It will not be perfect, but it will be worth the effort. It's one of those relationships that, like, the more effort that's given, the more bounty you get out of it. All right. I'm going to shut that down there. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.